You wouldn't bang Ryan Reynolds for $1 million?
No.
Billion.
No.
Trillion.
No.
Quadrillion.
You don't. No one has that much money.
The U.S. government does.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Even though they owe about that much.
Yeah, it's true. Get on that, Mr. Trump. My name is John F. Kennedy. We are gonna get rid of death.
I have swords.
I have swords. I'm going after Lee Harvey Oswald. I went there. Cut this.
Posthumously.
Cut this. Cut this.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jimmy Comics. We got a read and tell for you today.
Yeah.
Deadpool KILLUSTRATED, the direct sequel to Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe.
We're back. Not only am I wearing my Navy shirt, I also have Deadpool swords.
Guess who's back?
Back again.
So this comes from the
back.
Deadpool minibus
Tell your friends.
collection of Deadpool miniseries. This one's by Cullen Bunn.
And you probably want to watch our video on Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
Before you watch this one. We'll link that in the description.
Actually, all of these are by Cullen Bunn.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
And he was very good.
So, yeah. Overall, this is a pretty compelling story, I thought.
Mhm.
I thought it was pretty good.
Because it really goes into not just comics, but literary legends, really. Like all the things that you were forced to read in high school.
Yeah. Well, not only that, he goes into, like, you know, the very mechanisms of the stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like, their purpose, and it's just a lot deeper than you'd think a Deadpool comic would be. We'll get to the first issue. Yeah, so it starts out with Moby Dick.
Well, this is kind of like a flash forward, because then it goes back in time.
Oh yeah, it goes back though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't start with Moby Dick.
It actually does. Anyway,
Yeah.
He gets eaten by Moby Dick and comes out of the blowhole.
Well, no, he cut himself. Ow. He didn't cut himself. I mean, he
Yeah.
does, but I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. Anyway, overall, what would you rate the story?
I'd give it a 2.
2 swords?
Swords.
Out of 2?
Out of 2.
2 swords up.
2 swords up.
2 swords erect.
Yes.
I thought it was really good. You need to read Deadpool Kills Marvel Universe first.
Yes.
Because this takes concepts from that and develops them further. So definitely read that one first. But yeah, I think it's good insight. Like it's good to step back and actually think about what comics really are, instead of just like all the time we get immersed in these stories, but we don't think about like
where they come from,
or like what their purpose is.
That actually reminds me, I watched the movie M. Night Shyamalan made, Glass, that had Samuel Jackson in it.
Yep.
And how he has this theory that comics, all that stuff's real, and all the legends we hear about it, or that's what comics are. They're like legends that are being told, trying to cover it all up. So that kind of correlates to this.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good
Have
movie.
you watched the other 2 movies?
I saw Split. I didn't
Yeah.
see the first one.
Unbroken?
Unbroken, yeah, that was it.
Yeah. I think I have the first 2. I don't have Glass yet.
Glasses was good. Did you see it?
No, I haven't watched the other 2, so I want to watch those first.
Okay.
You know. But yeah, he just visits. So what he's trying to do overall, Deadpool has discovered that he is a product of entertainment, so he's tired of being a puppet to these writers, and he wants to end everything. So to do that, he's discovered that there's this place with the help of a scientist called what they're terming it as the Ideaverse, which is like a pocket multiverse where all of classic literature exists, like real Sherlock Holmes, Captain Ahab, all of those guys.
Captain Nemo.
Yeah. So what Deadpool's going to do is he's going to kill them.
So there's no more ideas.
Because comics, a lot of comics are based off of those classic works of literature. So Deadpool goes through, the scientist guy makes him this device that allows him to travel to that multiverse. And he starts killing all these different
He starts off at Don Quixote.
Yeah.
And at the windmill scene, and I was reading, I was like, hey, I read this sophomore year. This is like the first novel ever made, ever published. And then he kills Sancho right after.
So there's Don Quixote.
Poor Don Quixote.
The fun thing about this is, like, when he kills people, sometimes he'll see their Marvel Universe counterpart, like what the character that was based on that classic character.
He kills the Headless Horseman and he sees the Green Goblin, because Headless Horseman throws the pumpkin like the Green Goblin's pumpkin grenades.
And Ghost Rider.
Yeah, and Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
And he reacts to them like they're actually there, but it's just a figment of his imagination. He's like, what's a redneck like you doing here? Like when Ghost Rider shows up.
I thought that was cool because that was the only time you see the Marvel character first, instead of him just like hallucinating when he kills them.
I wish that was more prevalent, because in some you don't see anything, so I mean you're kind of left to wonder, what did they inspire?
Like Jungle Book, I didn't.
Yeah, there wasn't anything there. And then Julius Caesar, all of the senators who stabbed Caesar, they're also dead. But I was like, what are they?
I don't know.
Hydra.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with Hydra.
No. Okay. I hate the senator. You know, the guy that's like in the middle of all that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Can't stand him.
The one who tried to get the Sokovia Accords done.
I guess it's the one that always was fighting Tony Stark in court. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that guy.
Didn't he show up at Tony's funeral? Oh.
No. What?
I just spoiled Endgame.
Dude, this has been out a while.
Oh yeah, spoiler ban's lifted.
If you haven't seen Endgame by now, then you weren't going to anyway.
Yeah.
So
you deserve to have it spoiled. So this is what happens.
But yeah, so we see that Sherlock Holmes received a message from the scientist helping Deadpool, and the scientist like knew what Deadpool's doing, and he's trying to stop it. So he's sending a message to all of the classic characters, and Sherlock gets the message.
And he starts assembling his own team of classic literature people.
Yep. So here's the team.
Yep. Beowulf, Mulan, Watson, and the guy who inspired Davy Crockett.
Yep.
I can't remember his name. Buffalo or something. What was
So
it?
it's Natty Bumpo.
Nanny Bumpo, that guy.
Yeah.
Frontiersman Tracker.
King of the Wild Frontier.
Davy Crockett.
Yeah, pretty cool team.
Mm-hmm. I like how built Beowulf is.
Yeah. Dude, it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
We get a little bit of Christmas Carol right here.
He kills Scrooge.
Yeah.
Then this is really cool. For Frankenstein, Deadpool, he's had this other conscience. Like, he has two personalities, pretty much. Well, not personalities. He just has another voice in his head. So he scoops out his brain and lets it regenerate. But he gives that brain to Igor, who in the story uses that brain on Dr. Frankenstein's reanimated corpse. Mm-hmm. So when it's reanimated, he gets an ally. It's basically his other, like, voice is now a real person.
Yep.
You can distinguish them because the other voice talks with a red bubble, and Deadpool talks with a distinctive yellow, and everyone else with white.
Yeah.
So that's how you can tell.
I like how Dr. Frankenstein is the jackal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Clone Saga reference for you.
Riley knows all about that.
Oh yeah.
He joined when
Clone
that was
Saga.
happening. That brave man stayed in it even when the Clone Saga was going on.
Gotta love the Clone Saga. Dude, I wasn't around when it went on.
You weren't?
No. It's before I was even born. Most of it. Well, yeah. A good chunk, yeah.
Thought so.
Yeah, so just a bunch of cool stuff. At the end of it, Sherlock is able to best him.
Yeah, so Deadpool's thing, the way he travels through, it's a wristwatch. Mulan chops it off when he's about to use it, but he runs over to their time machine that they've been using to track him down, and their time machine is the time machine from H.G. Wells' novel that he wrote. So Sherlock jumps on it with him, and they fight, and he ends up throwing him into the abyss, but all of the ideas are dead. But Sherlock, he remembers them all because he read them. So he starts going over and saying what happens, and he's like, come on, Sherlock, remember. And he's reading lines from the books. He's basically feeding the idea verse so it can undo what Deadpool has done.
It kind of makes me think of, this is a DC reference, but Metron in the Mobius chair. Do you have any idea? Okay. I didn't know if you knew about him. New Gods. You like the New Gods? It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, so he's like the guardian of this multiverse, this pocket multiverse now. And since he remembers it, he's holding it together.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, is there no Sherlock Holmes now?
Maybe he could talk about himself and he shows up again.
Maybe.
He is his own father.
That's deep.
It's like Futurama when Fry became his own grandfather. Did you watch that show?
No.
It's pretty funny.
I'm curious if Deadpool Kills Deadpool is,
Direct sequel of this.
yeah, if it ties in at all.
That's what I always wondered though when I was reading this, because at the start he was going through all these different multiverses. I mean, he had to have run into himself, wouldn't he?
Hmm?
When he was going at the beginning of Deadpool Kills the Idea verse, he was going through the multiverse and killing all these different heroes, like 'cause the different versions of them. He had to run into himself, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Like, but it never really addresses that.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
I mean, unless he killed himself again there, because I mean, he killed Wolverine, who had a pretty good healing factor. I mean, I'm sure he killed him a lot.
Oh, yeah. See, there's some
Oh,
Deadpool costumes there. Yeah. Okay.
So he's already killed himself.
Yeah.
Well, I feel schmizzle-doodle.
So I don't know what the next story's about.
We've been Smeggledorf. I don't even know what that is, and I agree with you.
We should probably do this a little bit closer to this one this time.
Yeah.
Than we did this one.
Yeah.
So, because I kind of was flipping through in the other one and try to see where that voice
what
came
happened,
from and
yeah.
everything. So, yeah.
Unfortunately, Deadpool couldn't make it to this this episode.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't make it to the last podcast.
Yeah, we're getting back at each other.
Yep. Take that, 10 man.
But, yeah.
It's not really no comparison. He was in a very long episode. I think we're done.
This is kind of a short
one. It's a short 4 issues. It's about what, 30-minute read all the way through.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Not long at all.
It's not bad.
But the writing's good. Art is good.
It is very good. Like, I don't regret reading it at all. Like, some comics you're like, it's okay.
Yeah, this one.
This one's really good.
I was like, wow. I mean, and I love literature. I love reading novels. So seeing all these classics.
Yeah, that was fun.
Riley was watching my reactions because we only had the physical copy. We were both reading it one way out there. I was like, no, Don Quixote.
Oh, and the Captain Ahab getting
No, Captain
Captain Nemo
Captain
gets-
Nemo from 20,000 Leagues, which
gets
is one of
strapped
my
to a
favorite books.
torpedo.
He gets wrapped around a torpedo and shot at the Little Mermaid. I went, oh my god! Like right next to Riley, and he was like, what?
She gets blown in half, and all that's left is a tail.
Yeah. See, it's a good read, but I mean, you will see beloved characters die.
But it's fun, and it's also like it offers concepts that are worth reading about.
Mhm.
You know, it's very memorable, I think.
I think so too. I give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm up there. I'm gonna give it a CGC 9.8. 9.8 grade. Yeah, Cullen Bunn, he does a good job.
Yeah.
And you get some fun pokes at the comic industry.
Yeah. And that joke about X-rated anime.
Yeah. And I like when he's talking about how every fictional character is put through all this crap and they're made to suffer for
He
our
even calls it
entertainment.
voyeurism.
Yeah. But yeah, overall fun story. We both enjoyed it, so check it out if you haven't already. And yeah, that's about it.
This is Wyatt and Riley from Jimmy Comics, signing off.